I'm your host, Alex Barth, for April 3rd, 2011. We got so much to talk about today. NBA championship coming up tomorrow. Red Sox and baseball season started. Hockey making its turn towards the playoffs, as is basketball. And we got so much to talk about today. I'm joined by Little Max, Big Max, Dylan, and Jason over on the back talk set. We'll have other people calling in throughout the show. To start off, though, the Final Four games held yesterday, VCU and Butler. The Cinderellas going at it, and then UConn and Kentucky, the rematch of the early season game. Let's take a look at some highlights. Butler VCU right here. Second half, Brad Robitaille, Joey Rodriguez, nice layup. VCU hung around for most of this game, played very impressively, but Butler bounces back. Zach Vaughn, the reverse layup, very nice getting it in there. Later, Sheldon Mack, though, he just took over. At one point, he had 10 unanswered from either side. He scored 10 in a row, putting Butler up. Rams would make a run, though. James Steen, he knocks down the three. That has been VCU's mantra the whole tournament. They set a record 61 threes hit. But then with 1 minute left, Howard strikes the offensive board. Butler would go on to win it, 70-62. The 8th seed, they will go on to the final for the second time in 2 years. And then in the other game, you had the opposite, a 3 seed and a 4 seed. UConn, led by Kemba Walker, taking on Kentucky, the young team that last year almost should have gotten far. They got cut short a little bit earlier than they wanted to. Let's see how that game went. UConn was up by 10 at the half. Brandon Knight trying to bring something back, hits the three. Here's another one, Darius Miller with the three ball. Later, Lamb again. Put him down by one. UConn up 33-32 at the beginning of the second half. Just more threes for Kentucky. This has been a tournament that's been dominated by the three ball. Then later, Kemba Walker, the pull-up gets it in. He has been so clutch this whole tournament. And then Kemba Walker again just glides through the lane. He has been untouchable. That is really what this whole tournament has been for him, summed up in that one play. Shabazz Napier from nearby Randolph, Massachusetts, the nice underhand layup puts it in. So you see the fans, they know this one's almost over. Minute 40 to go, though. Kentucky trying to come back, knocking down some more threes. They make it a three-point game. Another one in the corner, draws the foul but misses, so he'll have a chance at 3 free throws. But then they look again, only a 2-point shot. So then UConn only up by 2. They just have to run the clock out. There'd be only 5 seconds left. But Shabazz Napier loses the ball. Kentucky would pick it up with 16.6 to go and no shot clock. We've seen them win close games earlier, starting with Princeton. But this was the best shot they could get with 5 seconds left. A deep three. UConn would come up with the rebound. And that'd be all she wrote. So, UConn and Butler. Here we go. Monday night. Guys, who has the upper hand in this game?
I would definitely say that it is Butler.
As we see Shabazz Napier make the free throw to put it away.
I would definitely say that it's Butler who has the edge in this game. Mostly because for the reasons that I gave last time when I picked VCU over Kansas. I think the main reason is that the lower seed is so hungry and so eager. And Butler also wanting to... They were in the championship game last year, and now they're back. They lost last year on a game-winning shot, and they were devastated. Now they're back this year. They've proven they're for real. And we just have to see that Butler is the team of destiny, and I just think that they're more hungry than UConn is this year.
And we welcome on now Globe sports editor Joe Sullivan. Joe, how you doing? Joe? How you doing, Joe? Can you hear us? So we wait for this to get fixed. Max, who do you like in the final game?
You know, I'm going to have to agree with the other Max here and go with Butler. I think the experience is really key here. Brad Stevens, they were here last year. It's crazy to say when you see this matchup that Butler is actually the more experienced team. No one on UConn, other than their coach Jim Calhoun, has ever been in the championship or even a Final Four before. They're a young team. You look at Butler with Matt Howard and Sheldon Mack leading the way. They were so close. They could taste it. They were one half-court shot away by Gordon Hayward last year from winning the national championship. And it's something about it. When you get back here the second time, you feel like there's unfinished business to take care of. And they were so close last year, the miracle run. This year, a lot of people, it was more unexpected than last year. 5 seed last year, 8 seed this year. But the way they've been playing, the teams they've been beating, it's just been real impressive. And I don't really think UConn's going to be able to hold up with the way Butler's been playing.
I think UConn's going to win it all this year because from the start of the tournament, I picked UConn to win. Everyone laughed at me, but I am right. So ha-ha to everyone who laughed at me. Laugh back at you.
Dylan, they didn't win the whole thing yet. And we
Still
think
a lot
now
of
we
work
have
to
Joe
be done.
Sullivan on the line. Joe, can you hear us? Sorry to cut you off, Max.
Still.
Hello, Joe? Nope. Okay, go ahead, guys.
All right, so I think UConn's going to win. As you said, Alex, yes, they have not won it yet, but I said before, I am picking them to win, and people said they wouldn't even make it past the Elite Eight. So, ha-ha to that. Not yet, but I do think UConn will win. Kemba Walker is just such a beast. He lights it up every game, and he is this UConn team. I think he does great against Butler, and I think UConn wins it by a 3-pointer.
I think your laughing is a little bit premature. I think you should
agree
wait
with
until
that.
they win, until they possibly win the
Still,
championship.
people
And
doubted
I'm going to
me.
go against you here, Dylan. You're saying that Kemba Walker, he is everything for this UConn team. He is their best player. He's who they go to in crunch time. As you saw during those highlights, he had that layup, which really sealed the deal for them. But I really don't think that he's going to be the difference maker in this game. I think if UConn's going to come out on top and win this game, it is going to be the other players. It's going to be a little bit of Shabazz Napier, but mostly I think it's going to be Jeremy Lamb. He has been on fire this tournament, really stepping up in the last month. And as we've seen in NCAA, in the NBA, in any level of basketball, one player can get you really far. But if you want to win the championship, if you want to take it all home, you're going to need some other players to step up. And that's exactly what Jeremy Lamb's been doing. You need the full team. You have to put it all together. They've got the coaching. They've got the talent on the court. But will they be able to put it all together, hit some threes, which they're going to need against a really, really good shooting Butler team? I just don't think they're going to be able to do it.
Well, as you said, Jeremy Lamb is on fire this tournament. I think he will stay on fire. I mean, against Cincinnati, I believe he had 19 points, and Kemba Walker had 20. That's only a 1-point difference. And I also look for Alex Oriaki to do great. He's great defensive wise.
He is key in this game.
He has just 5 blocks a game. He's a very talented player. I think he'll get some very key rebounds for UConn, which UConn has been known to get.
But he's going against one of the most underrated players in the last couple of years, someone who's starting to get the attention because he's been in the championship back-to-back years now. Matt Howard, he's been a man on a mission. He's really led this team. He knew last year they were this close. They were losing one of their great players in Hayward. He knew he was going to have to be the leader along with Shelvin Mack. He's really led them here. He's scoring the points when they need him. He's playing excellent defense, pulling down the rebounds, staying out of foul trouble for the most part, although we saw a little bit of that against VCU. But really, he's been a man on a mission. You got to agree with me that he's going to be favored in that matchup over Oriaki.
True, but
they have momentum. They've been undefeated since the Big East tournament. Kemba Walker has been unstoppable. I don't think Butler can beat them. I like UConn in this game.
But if you look at the star power on both teams, you have Kemba Walker on UConn, and then there's everybody else. But if you look at a team like Butler, they have spread talent. They have Mack. They have Howard. Just strong team all around. I think much more of a spread out scoring offense instead of one player who needs to have the ball at the end of the game or their team can't have success. I just think Butler is really favored in this matchup.
And they are all on a mission. Who has more to gain from this, Butler or UConn? They both have a lot to gain. Both have national championship under the belt if they can pull it off. But Butler, they've never won it. UConn's won it twice. And you just look at Butler and you go, if they win this, if Butler's able to pull off this upset and win it, they were here last year, but they didn't win. If they're able to win it this year, what does this mean for college basketball?
The mid-majors.
It would be a mark in history. They tie the Villanova team from the 80s, the lowest seed ever to win with the number 8 seed. And it would just be amazing. It would be a game that nobody would ever forget. You'll remember where you are when it happened. It would be a turning point in college basketball. And it would be really a turning point in all of collegiate sports. When you look at football with the mid-major schools, the non-power conference, it's always been a discussion. And if they're able to pull this off, it really shows that any team, you don't need that Big East, the Big Ten, the ACC tag. Any team in any sport is able to pull off the win.
Well, along the lines of what you're saying there, with the Butler being an 8 seed making it to the final, we've seen so many upsets this year. You had a 12 and a 13 seed facing off 1 point. Are these upsets overall helping or hurting college basketball?
Oh, they've got to be helping. I don't see how they could be hurting in any way whatsoever. Mostly because all these teams that are unexpected are making the tournament. The small teams are getting there. Everybody's rooting for the underdogs, the upsets. It's bringing lots of popularity to college basketball and college basketball schools that people might not have heard of. It's just great and much more interesting than seeing Duke and Kentucky and Florida win over and over and over again. Much better for college basketball.
And now, hoping third time's a charm, we welcome Globe sports editor Joe Sullivan. Joe, how you doing tonight? Hello, Joe. Still having some technical difficulties, guys, you were saying?
I'm going to agree. I think it's good. But I don't know if it's really that good. It sort of puts a dagger in the selection committee, which, just to be straight honest, as a huge college basketball fan, I can't stand the selection committee. Who are they to choose one team over another team based on all these little mathematical equations they come with? I think that it's luck, and it's luck of the draw. If you're going to get in, if Colorado's going to get in, or VCU is going to get in, or UAB, or Harvard, or whoever, Virginia Tech, I think that it shows that really anyone can beat anybody, and that who gets in is just, it's luck. Because any team, as VCU has shown us, any team can get into this tournament and make a run. It's March Madness. This is what programs live for. They don't live to have a great season and then be disappointed. They live to win games in March. They want to win it. They want to show their mark. The tournament, there's no better time for a player, a coach, a team, anything, even a conference, to show who they are than in the March Madness tournament, where you're playing against the best competition there is. Anyone can beat anyone. The thing about college basketball that I've always liked, I can be sitting in my kitchen on a Tuesday night eating dinner and watch two random teams who I would never have heard of, can't name a player. I can watch them play in a college basketball game. I can't necessarily turn on any other sport, professional or collegiate, and watch two random teams who I care nothing about play. College basketball, something about it, they're playing just to play. There's no money involved. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to make their mark in history. And the fact that all these upsets are happening really just helps the cause as a whole.
Well, what you were
It
saying
definitely helps them because, in my opinion, the NCAA tournament is one of the best tournaments. The best tournament in sports. Period. And this really, I think, attracts more fans because not as many people follow college basketball as college football even, or definitely the pro sports. So this definitely helps them.